Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. Summer of Sleaze continues. But first, not that this is the most pleasant thing I'm going to announce here, because it isn't. Legendary wrestler Kevin Sullivan was hurt in some kind of an accident after a convention he attended down in Florida. I'm not exactly clear on extent of what happened, but it seems that he almost lost his leg. His daughter's running a fundraiser on GoFundMe, for Kevin Sullivan, if anybody's interested. They're trying to raise $20,000 to pay for his medical bills, and they've gone over that. And some people have been incredibly generous, like Tony Khan, $10,000, Jim Cornette, $5,000, Chris Jericho, $2,500. I just threw something in, so it sucks when you get jammed up with a medical situation, and even though he had, decent insurance, he's still in the hospital. It's still a touch and go situation. So, if you feel inclined and you're a fan of Kevin Sullivan, by all means try to help him out. But anyway, let me take you back to 1970, the year I graduated high school, and the year a lot of really interesting movies came out, including a Hammer double bill. Scars of Dracula and Horror of Frankenstein. Well, I remember Scars, but Horror of Frankenstein, well, let's put it this way. A Frankenstein movie without Peter Cushing as Dr. Frankenstein isn't going to work for me. And the only thing I can remember about the movie is that they had a severed hand basically do this, which, okay, fine. But Scars was a whole different story. And this sort of marked the turning point for Hammer, where they had lost money from U.S. investors because of, I think it was Jimmy Carreras or something like that. But anyway, they lost money to make movies, and these movies sort of show the shortcomings, because Scars of Dracula opens up with a fucking bat on a string hovering over a pile of dust, and then spews blood from its little bat mouth into the pile of dust, and voila, Christopher Lee appears. So then it segues to some guy carrying a dead chick into a bar with her throat ripped open, and of course it's Dracula. So they decide to hide all the women and children in the church and go burn down the castle. This is like the second film I've seen where they try to burn rock. So they burn what they can. Of course, they don't get to Dracula. They get to his servant, Cove. And while this is all going on, looks like the Count can command an army of bats in this one, and sends the army of bats to wipe out everybody in the church and some really horrific-looking fucking corpses. So anyway, this ne'er-do-well ends up in town and winds up at Dracula's castle, and his brother goes looking for him with his girlfriend, who, the servant Cove, found a locket in this guy's pocket after they killed him, and is sort of enamored with the girl. So they stay at the castle, and Cove helps them get out, and it seems like the Count really beats on Cove a lot, and in this one, he heats up a fucking sword and shoves it on Cove's back, and he's got this look on his face like, I never wanted to do this fucking role again, but I guess I had to just to turn some money. So anyway, this thing goes back and forth, and I mean, you still got the stupid bats. Two Hammer regulars are there. Michael Gwynn is a priest, and Michael Ripper is an innkeeper, and the priest gets killed by the killer bats. So now they're in the castle, and the hero throws an iron rod into Dracula's heart, who basically just pulls it out and holds it up to throw it at them. Then a lightning bolt hits it and basically fries the Count, and he falls off the precipice of the castle and burns. Not really that great. It might have been one of the last of Lee's better performances as the Count, because he actually has dialogue in this one and really looks undead. But the thing was, all the other films that preceded this film, when the Count was killed, they sort of brought him back from the way he was killed. Like the one where he was killed by running water, he was frozen under the ice, and then this priest cracks his head open, the blood goes under the ice, and revives the Count. This one was just, okay, let's wake him up and get fucking going. So, like I said, this was sort of the signal of the sort of end of Hammer, because the production values became cheaper and cheaper, And Amicus sort of overshadowed Hammer with its productions, basically using, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Jack Palance, Burgess Meredith, Sir Ralph Richardson, all these British actors. So it sort of went that way. But not that Scars isn't worth a look, because it is. I really can't say the same about Horror of Frankenstein. So the other good news on the end of this little show is that Whole Bag of Crazy, Part Deuce, One Last Toke, will be out shortly, within a week or two. It's 370 pages. It's profusely illustrated, unlike the first one, with photos of me with celebrities, wrestlers, and just fucking around, ad mats, weird places to go, and just some strange shit in general. So it's going to be a $30 book, and I don't think you'll be disappointed because, like I said, it's a whopping 370 pages. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. I'll let you know as soon as the book's up on the website. And above all, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.